We are involved in a national project in Brazil to promote sheep and goat production. Small ruminants are really important in developing countries, and our main focus in the past was to study human-animal interaction. And what we found out was that if you're nice to goats during pregnancy, the offspring has a much better start. Goats are far more closer to humans than sheep, meaning that if you're not nice to goats, the consequences are very serious. We, in fact, published a piece of research showing that negative human-animal interaction causes embryo absorption and abortion in goats. Then goats are incredibly sensitive to human handling because of the close nature that they have. And overall, then in Brazil, we are now engaged into a large project to promote this chain, particularly to improve their welfare. And of course, welfare problems are related to, especially to surgical procedure with no pain mitigation, like castration or dehorning, and issues related to transportation and some diseases. Then our team now is part of this national network to promote both goats and sheep. We are working towards the goal of mitigating lameness in dairy cows. Lameness is the most serious problem for the welfare of dairy cows across the globe, and incidence of lameness above 30% is common across North America, South America, and Europe. And in this study, we are testing the impact of a rubber floor on the structure of the hoof, and we have interest, and we're conducting some studies to ask the question whether or not this prenatal environment of this animal in pain affects the offspring. We've done that in sows, and we also have done that in cows. We've been studying the impact of the prenatal environment on health and welfare outcomes, meaning that if the pregnant sows like these ones had a good life, whether or not the offspring is going to be affected. And central to the questions are issues like lameness. Lameness is one of the most serious issues for pregnant sows, and we have some evidence that a lame sow produces a piglet that is more fearful, gain less weight.
We have the literature are extensive about welfare in pregnant sows, but in boars, for example, we have few studies about it. And here we are working on, this is my PhD project, and we also have about a lot of works with environmental enrichment. So I think for young vets, here is a good way, a good example in Brazil about science of animal welfare.
Pigs are very complex animals, and here we're looking to ways of enriching the environment. If you enrich their environment, you get them to develop in more sociable animals. In fact, we have evidence that by enriching the environment, providing more challenging environments, they develop more organized brains. They respond better to stressful situations. But in our studies, again, we are trying to find what kind of enrichment can you do to enrich the life of the animals and to promote more resilient phenotypes, meaning that animals that can go through life not paying a high price for difficult situations. One welfare, one health. That's basically how I define best my program here at the University of São Paulo. We're focused on the concept of one welfare.